Good morning, everyone. This is Jaya Vigneshwaran. I'm one of the product managers in Syncfusion and I'm overseeing the development of charts, spark charts, and few more data visualization widgets in Flutter. I'm really excited today to present this webinar. I will share the details of how to load data from multiple sources into a Flutter chart. This is the agenda which I planned for today. First, I will give a quick overview of the Syncfusion Flutter charts and its key features. Next, let's see how to build a Flutter application from scratch and including charts in it. Then I will let you know about how to bind data to the chart and what are the different sources for this. And finally, we can walk through the step-by-step procedure on binding data to the chart from multiple sources along with a live demo. The Syncfusion Flutter Charts is a data visualization library written in Dart from the scratch. This provides a variety of beautiful charts with great performance. Syncfusion Flutter Charts package is available in pub.dev site and we can have a look at it. You can see the important features, getting started details, an example application, demo links and other useful links on this page. Also, don't miss to have a look at our demo application which got published on the web as well as in various stores. And these are the key features of Syncfusion Flutter Charts. It provides 30 plus chart types ranging from popular chart types like line, bar, area and pie chart to financial charts like candle, OHLC, etc. You can see the all available chart types in this image. Then it supports 5 axis types, namely numeric category, daytime category and logarithmic axis. These axes in turn allows you to bind numeric, string, daytime and logarithmic values to the chart. Also, it provides various useful interactive features like zooming and panning, tooltip, trackball, crosshair, selection, etc. Then it has a unique, rich feature set which really helps in several scenarios. Its animation is smooth and easy, which is pleasant to watch. Also, it has a vast set of APIs to customize each part of the chart as desired. Excitingly, it also supports dynamic live updates to create real-time charts. You can see some real-time chart demos here. And finally, its performance is high enough to render a huge amount of data in few seconds. Next, let's see how to build a Flutter app from scratch and how to include Flutter charts in it. You can open a new project or existing project, and in that you can add Syncfusion Flutter charts as dependency in pubspec.yaml file. Then you have to import charts library in main.dart file. Then you can include chart widget in your widget tree. On running this application, the default Flutter chart will get rendered. Let's try this practically. I am using VS Code as my IDE and I have installed all the prerequisites for Flutter development. For creating a new project, open View, Command Palette and select Flutter New Application Project. Select a folder for this and let's provide a name for this. I am specifying the project name as Chart Data Binding. So the project is getting created. And here we go, the default Flutter app got created. We can see the output by running this. And I am running the web output in Chrome browser. As you know, the output will be same across the web, mobile and desktop platforms. Since this is our first run, it will take a while to launch the Chrome browser. The output page got opened in Chrome now, but the output is yet to be rendered. The wait is over. Now you can see the output of the default app. On clicking this button, the counter is getting incremented and you can see that value here. Next, let's include Syncfusion Flutter Chats dependency in pubspec.yml file. You can use the latest version. The package version can be found in the pub.dev site. And when we save the file, VS Code runs the command flutter pubget to download the package. The download is completed now. Now open the main.dot file and import the charts library. So we can use the charts widget in this file. And let me remove the default project codes in the My Home Page State class for better clarity. Now override the build method. Within the build method, return the safe area widget to render the chat within the usable area. In the child, set the scaffold widget so that you can set the material design to your application. In the scaffold's body, set the SF Cartesian chart widget. You can render line, column, area, bar and other Cartesian chart types using this widget. Save the file to see the output. Now you can see the default Syncfusion Flutter Cartesian charts got rendered. You can also use other chart widgets like SF Circular Chart, SF Pyramid Chart and SF Funnel Chart for rendering pie, pyramid and funnel charts respectively. Next, let me explain how to bind the data to the chart and what are the various sources for loading data. There are many sources available for binding data, but let's see the important and widely used sources in this webinar. First, let me show how to bind the class type list data to the chart. This is the most common and simple data binding method. Next, let's see how to bind data from predefined type list to the chart. The list type can be int, double, string or datetime, etc. Then I will show how to bind the local JSON data to the chart. JSON is a commonly used data format, and most large data sets like historical data, financial data, day-to-day stock price details, etc. will be maintained as JSON data. Finally, I will demonstrate how to bind the JSON data stored in the Firebase database to the chart. Google's Firebase database is a cloud-hosted database in which the data is stored as a JSON. Now I will explain the binding of class type list data to the chart. The chart directly takes the class type list as input. So simply we can create a class and add required fields to it. For example, here I have created a class named employee and declared two fields, name and experience. Name is of type string and experience is of type double. Next, we can create a list of that class type and add required data to it. I have created a variable employees and added two sets of data. Then we have to assign this variable to the chart series data source property. Come, let's try this in our application. Now let's create a class named sales details as it is going to hold sales related details. Then we can add two fields, month of type string and sales count of type int. Let's add a constructor for this. Now let's create a global variable sales of type list of sales details to hold the data. Then we can add a function load sales data to assign the data. So we can call this at necessary places. In this function, I will add few random data to the sales variable. Then we can override the init state method to call the load sales data function. Thus, the data is ready now, and let's bind it to the chart. I'm adding a series collection and we can specify any series type. I'm adding line series by passing sales details and string. Assign the sales variable to the data source property. Next, you need to map the x value and y value. So use the x value mapper property and set month field. This will plot all the month values on the x-axis. In the same way, use y value mapper property and set the sales count field. Since we are binding string values to x-axis, we should initialize the primary y-axis to category axis. By default, it will be numeric. Now everything is done. Save the file to see the changes in the chart. You can see that the line series got rendered with the specified data in the chart. Next, I will show you how to bind a list of predefined type to the chart. This is similar to the previous process, but we have to do an additional step in this. As I said in the previous section, the chart will only take the class type list as input for data source. So we have to convert list of predefined types to list of class type, and then we should bind it to the chart's data source. For example, here I have specified two lists, string list and double list. One is for x value and another one is for y value. We have to form a single class type from these two lists, and then we have to bind it to the chart. Let's try this by modifying in our example. Define two lists and add some random data to it. In the load sales data function, clear the data and add code to iterate the predefined type lists and push the data to the sales variable. Thus, a class type list is formed from these two predefined lists. Let me save this and check the output. You can see that our new data got reflected in the chart. Now, I will show you how to bind JSON data which is available locally to the chart. The JSON data should be converted to class type list for binding it to the chart's data source. Here I have mentioned a snippet of JSON data. We need to do few more additional steps for binding this to the chart. First, the JSON data should be placed in the assets folder and should mention the path in pubspec.yaml file. Create another constructor for parsing the JSON. Then load raw JSON string and convert it to the list. Then create a list of class type and push data by iterating the decoded JSON. Let's try this practically in our example. Let's reveal this project in Explorer. Then let's create a folder named assets. Within that folder, let's create a new JSON file. Open this and add some random data to it. I'm adding 3 sets of data now. Okay, let's save this file, and next we have to include this in assets in pubspec.yaml file. Okay, let's move to main.file. We need .convert and Flutter services libraries for our project, so I'm importing those now. Let me clear these codes. Next, let's add a new async function getJSON from assets, which returns future string. Within this function, load and return the JSON data as string. Then I am changing this function return type to future and making it as async. Within this function, I am assigning the getJSON from assets function call to a string variable. This holds the JSON data in string format. Next, I am decoding the string and assigning it to the another variable. Then we have to iterate the list and should push the values to the sales list. Hence, I am adding a for in loop here. As the sales details class should return the JSON fields, we have to add another constructor. I am making this as factory constructor since it has to return. Within this, return the fields. Now let's push data to sales list using this newly created constructor. Next, in the Wiget tree, we have to change the structure because loading JSON data will take few seconds. That's why we have used async and await in our code. Now we have to wrap the chart within the future builder Wiget. So based on the future change, this Wiget will build itself. Let's check a condition and return based on it. If data is available, we can return the chart. Else we can return circular progress indicator Wiget. Let's save and run this to see the output. You can see the data which we have specified in the JSON got rendered in this chart. And here comes the final one. Let me explain how to bind the data from Firebase database to the chart. Data in the Firebase database will be of type JSON. So we need to convert it to the class type list for binding it to the chart. The process is almost the same as the previous JSON data conversion and binding. The only change is we have to use the Firebase JSON data instead of local JSON data. I will quickly show how to create a database in Firebase and adding data to it. Let's search for Firebase database. Opening this link, click Visit Console. I have already signed in, so I'm adding a project directly. Let's specify the project name as Chart Data Binding. Click Continue. I'm selecting default account for Firebase. The project is getting created. It got created now. Next, let's add a database to this. You can choose FileStore or real-time database. I'm choosing real-time database. Click Create Database. I'm starting this in test mode, so anyone can read or write this. Database got created now. Let's add data to it. I am naming it as data and adding some random data to it. Click Add. Now let me add two more sets. Now the data is added successfully to the database. You can also check the data by opening this URL. Since we have to process the web link, we have to include HTTP package as dependency. We can get the latest version details of HTTP package from pub.dev. Now let's import the HTTP library in main.dat file. I'm renaming this method to getJSON from Firebase in all applicable places. Then in this method, let's assign the JSON data URL to a variable. Then get and pass the URL and assign to the HTTP response type variable. Finally, return the response.body. As we have made required changes, let's save and check the output. You can see that the chart got rendered with the data which we have specified in the Firebase database. And for your reference, we have also published these steps as knowledge base articles, and you can find it from these links. These articles have step-by-step procedures. Also, it has a working example which you can view in GitHub. In addition, we have also published a knowledge base article for how to bind data from SQLite to the charts. Also, we are planning to publish articles on binding data from other sources like MySQL, etc. You can expect them soon. I hope now you have a clear idea on binding data from multiple sources to the Syncfusion Flutter charts. I have used Cartesian charts widget in the examples till now. But in the same way, you can bind data to the circular, pyramid and funnel chart widgets as well. So I guess that's all from my side.